ate noodles with no packet, cereal with the canned milk.
I'm doing this. We need to tell the truth about Kanye West once and for all, and as a black man, I think I'll do it. These 2 tweets I'm showing you are essentially the thesis for my video. Despite Kanye's radical method, he exposed.
No disrespect to the people, sorry to any followers I may have, but this situation shows how celebrities were scared to talk about the control executive of the industry. Kanye didn't use numbers independently, clearly makes
a group of people who happen to be protected far more than any other. Before I go any further, I do not agree with anything Kanye West has done nor the methods he has taken to expose the difference in treatment this group of people gets versus others. To be honest, I actually think Kanye West is a pretty bad person. And what I also know is that Kanye West is a mentally unwell man who has been enveloped in the darkness of the music industry for years.
If you don't know, Kanye got into a car accident, and then after the car accident, this is what caused them to make these sort of remarks. So it's to say that racism, it grows in the brain after tragic car accidents. It grows. It goes undetected at first, but with enough time, the doctors can see it and say, man, this person is definitely not one of us.
Those things together are why so many artists fall from grace. Despite these issues, Kanye has consistently spoken about how he feels, and much like a broken clock, I think Kanye West was right a couple times. Today I wanted to take a more nuanced approach from the perspective of a left-leaning, progressive black man who loves everyone, because I think people are starting to be disingenuous. Kanye West is a mentally ill black man, and yet people are trying to turn him into Voldemort, even though there was always a message in the madness. Comment for the algorithm. But let's get this out the way. Kanye West was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and the one thing that's been really bothering me is how we're trying to dismiss and at times just erase the fact that Kanye West struggles from that. The BAFTA situation comes to mind. You have a white man with Tourette's who loudly screams the N-word with the hard R.
Deborah and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
Now, my opinion on this is that Tourette's is a condition someone can't control, and I'm not going to torch this man for having an incident based off of something that he can't control. That's ableism. And some of Kanye West's criticisms feel ableist to me because it's starting to feel like people want to demonize a man who is having very public episodes.
I think it's important for us to have conversations about, open conversations about mental health, especially with me being black, because we never had therapists in the black community.
This is very true when it comes to the colored community like me. It's very so few and far between anyone is going to understand anything that has to do with mental health. In fact, it's one of those things that are not truly really spoken on. And it's one of those things that if you do bring it up, who are you going to bring it up to? Because everyone else is going to tell you that, oh, you need to figure out like this, do this. Or they'll tell you, the worst part about it is they'll tell you go to church. That's what they'll tell you. Oh, you're mentally struggling? Go see Jesus Christ.
Approach like taking medication, and I think it's good that when I had my first complete blackout at age 5, my mom didn't fully medicate me because I might have never been gay.
This doesn't mean I agree with any of the rhetoric he was spewing, and I'm probably going to be repeating this throughout the video because I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. I am not anti-Semitic, and I love everyone, the Jewish people included. I just don't agree with dismissing everything Kanye says or did as him being a Nazi or him being anti-Semitic, because I think Kanye's episodes and what you take from them is very nuanced, and brushing off everything as anti-Semitic is not only ableist, but it's anti-black.
Say on some mob shit. So it's die, nigga. You know what I'm saying? They up here threatening the niggas, stopping their money. This is real life shit off of a statement. Off of me wearing a motherfucking chain. Off of me wearing their pain. But they playing, turning up, promoting, and making money off of our pain.
Kanye West wanted to expose the double standards that the industry and the system have. And it's that black pain is free for profit, free for exploitation, and free for anyone to get their hands on and mangle. Let me make myself abundantly clear. I don't agree with Kanye West's method of doing this or going about this or any of the things he's done. Because frankly, that's some stupid shit. And my video serves as a direct counter to it. Because you can express the fact that black pain is being commodified without wearing a fucking KKK robe. I'm so gonna get canceled for this video. But even so, as a black man and as a lover of everybody, I do find it weird that Kanye can get smited for.
Well, okay, I can see the point that you're making there, yes. You can stand for black rights, but don't wear the racist symbolism. Yeah, that's true. I mean, listen, if you want to get your message across to a large group of people, dumb it down and make it the most digestible. As opposed to trying to do things through shock and awe, which I think is Kanye's main problem, is that he's always trying to make it so controversial, so shocking, so headline worthy. And yes, these are the tactics of people such as Michael Jackson and things like that. But I think it's a slippery slope. You end up fabricating this world and end up fabricating this idea to stay relevant, that it plays into your mental health and it gives you a twisted sense of what reality is. You end up coming out more demented than when you went in.
anti-Semitism, but I grew up on an internet and I live a life where my existence as a black man is polarizing in and of itself. I defend black women so hard in my videos because we as a community are at the end of the totem pole in terms of how we are perceived. So when I watch someone do something anti-Semitic and I see swift retribution, I definitely understand the point Kanye West is trying to get across. I just don't agree with the execution. I will say Kanye has kept it surprisingly consistent. Even with the stuff he was tweeting back then, it's pretty consistent. It's basically Kanye expressing that he's willing to say anti-Semitic things to get the point across that being anti-Semitic is the only time you will see people mobilize to hold someone accountable for their hurtful speech.
Right. And also there's one aspect that you have to understand when it comes to people like this. I guess you can call them what? Can we call them revolutionaries? Sure, call them revolutionary if you want. Call them a free thinker. Call them a Renaissance man. Call them whatever you'd like. But the thing that you need to keep in mind is that he can only start the conversation. Yes, he might have you that he's always constantly yapping and saying things that are a little bit shocking, but he's only starting the conversations for people to open their eyes, to see it, to see the truth amongst all the lies, right? But if he can, but he himself knows if he continues to play this hero figure, some people are going to want to shut him up for good. So he can only take you so far. He can't take you all the way to the end, because taking you all the way to the end of the message means he perishes. And he doesn't want to do that. He still wants to live his life.
Tweeted about normalizing talking about Hitler the same way people talk about black violence. And he even pointed out all of his anti-Semitic stuff led to his accounts literally being frozen and even the threats of being medicated. It was a Jewish personal trainer who did this, by the way. And this is where the broken clock and nuanced stuff I was talking about earlier comes in. You don't look at these tweets and read them at face value. You study the culture and you see where it applies. I'll give you prime example. Clavicular literally went up by saying nigga and rage baiting black people. He was pushing anti-black rhetoric. Now I'm not gonna play that clip, but y'all remember when he said that black women look like snaggy hoes? A grown man literally trying to masculinize black women. And that type of racism is okay. I didn't see Clavicular get banned or reprimanded or even blackballed until he did the Miami incident with all the red pill guys. And there's a reason they only got blackballed after that. But I'll speak on that later. It's literally the point Kanye has been trying to get across. This isn't about it looking pretty or this being politically correct. I think Kanye just wanted to say nobody cares when the pain is black people. But when it's them, now all of a sudden it's a problem.
If you take people like Jay-Z and fucking Pusha T, they made their living killing our people. So how the fuck they gonna stand up for our people? You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right? But you think they would ever, oh, Beyonce had the best for somebody else? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, they told the truth back then, they didn't go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars. Liars are now the face of our culture.
The clip.
They're guilty of the sins they rap about, and this is why when it comes to selling your soul, it's not only selling your soul to the devil, but selling a piece of yourself, selling a piece of your morality for whatever it is you want, right? Whatever is your God, right? Because God can be your God, but things of this world, of the flesh, money, all these things can be your God too.
Is a double-edged sword because Kanye has worked with both men he named, and he's most definitely a hypocrite, but he's also not wrong. His messaging is consistent because, like I've been saying, black pain is free for everyone to get their hands on, and it's free game for them to do whatever they want with it, and this is Kanye's way of pushing back.
Now, I'm gonna say some anti-Semitic shit. I'm gonna fuck your bitch. I'm gonna kill this nigga. I'm gonna fuck your bitch. I'm gonna kill this nigga. That's the real anti-Semitic shit that the Jewish people get paid off of. Now, let me little Apple move. Let me all Apple right now. How many people want to bet their house that content is not within the first 3 songs on Apple Rap Music? So they're gonna have to take my life before they take my people. We ain't taking it no more, bro. They get paid off that shit. Ain't no, when the last time you seen a Jew person kill a Jew person on World Star?
But so when you peel off the layers of anti-Semitism and shock value, I think there is a genuine argument that Kanye West has and has been arguing this whole time. And it's the fact he just wants to critique how black pain has been commodified and turned into consumable content. But when it comes to a certain group of people, Kanye West, it's his bank accounts frozen. Whose accounts are they freezing over black folks though? Now, before I talk about the wireless situation, because trust me, I have my own opinions on this, I want to quickly restate my current opinion in a simplified way because I'm already knowing I'm gonna get anti-Semitism allegations. I'm already knowing there's gonna be a bunch of headline readers. My current stance is that I believe Kanye West is attempting to expose a protected class above all other groups of people, and he did this by leveraging edgy and shocking behavior. It exposed that despite how potentially harmful it is for black people, our pain is commodified for the masses via songs, social media, etc. I don't agree with Kanye's execution of this, but at least with Kanye,
what he's saying does make sense when it comes to, I guess, black pain or black culture, black media, everything, black food, black style of dress, anything that unfortunately is black is commodified, and people make money off of it that aren't necessarily black. How many black clothing owners do you know? How many black business owners do you know? No, not a lot, because the majority of the people that are put in the limelight aren't black. So what he's saying is, he makes sense. Black people should be able to, I guess, profit from their own exports, which is pop culture, right? But unfortunately, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think when it comes to black people, they have, like, I guess, brainwashed us to believe that it's best to play against your brother or sister than it is to work together with them. You know, you look at the sort of the Chinese or even the Jewish community, there's a lot of interworkings. People interwork together to survive and to grow and to thrive as a community, you know, whereas we're left gunning ourselves down. And once again, it comes back to the music, the rap music. That is the control mechanism also, you know.
He's had a consistent messaging that he's going so hard at being this shocking, polarizing figure because he sees what's happening to black people. And as a black man, I really empathize with that. And I side with that idea. I side with that messaging, not the actions, but the messaging. And nobody can take that away from me. You know what else you can't take away from me though? A quick ad break. Today's video is sponsored by my Spotify page. So if you enjoy my content, but you want to hear it on the go, just tap in. Imagine you're on the clock or maybe going for a late night walk. You now have an alternative way to engage with my content and to explore the internet. So do me a favor. Kanye beat the odds. He beat the canceling and the anti-Kanye campaign that was permeating the world. And recently, he popped out at a concert with 80,000 niggas in attendance, and he sold out 2 concerts at the SoFi Stadium in Cali. And Kanye was even supposed to go to the UK for Wireless Festival, and he had 3 dates. Things were just looking so good until he started receiving calls for being banned, citing his sympathy for Nazi ideology. And then multiple brands pulled out from the festival, such as PayPal, Pepsi, and Rockstar. Eventually, Kanye West was banned from the
If there's no sponsors and Kanye's not showing up, we can't really do the festival, guys. That's where all the money was going to be made. And it's crazy to see that amongst all this sort of Kanye hate, 80,000 people still pulled up at California to see him sing On Top of the World with Lauryn Hill. Shout out to Kanye.
Festival, and Wireless had to cancel along with sending people the refunds. But here's where this thing gets super weird and why I'm making this video today. Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, decided to chime in on the Kanye West situation, saying he should have never been invited to headline and how the government stands firmly with the Jewish community. And none of what he's saying is inherently bad. I actually love seeing groups of people supported by the government that they live under, and we need to normalize this for everyone, not just, you know. I do have a question though. Why is this same level of support not extended to any other minority group? And dude, Keir Starmer is the same man who had to apologize to Epstein victims because he appointed someone who he knew was a friend of Epstein. What type of sick double standard is this? You have the Epstein man playing moral high ground because Kanye was having mental health episodes, which was definitely spurred on by the consistent weird stuff going on in the industry, along with the commodification of black pain. You already know Kanye apologized to them boys, basically saying he'll show people he's a changed man. And I do respect that because anti-Semitism is corny. I'm not with the hate at all, but I am a noticer. And what I noticed is that this is my first time hearing about a board of deputies of British Jews. And I'm just wondering, where are these things for black people or minorities? Are there boards for any other minority group? And it's real funny how they want to quote the slavery comment Kanye made as if anyone cares about the well-being of black people. They only stepped in after the anti-Semitism. And regarding the slavery comment, I've seen the full context. And I'm not even trying to defend Kanye more than I already am, because truth be told, there are a plethora of things to dislike Kanye West for. But how about I just let you guys see the clip yourself?
You ain't gonna live through, you know, what I think that probably the idea is to beat sense into me. But, you know, when you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? You know, like, it's like we're mentally...
Once again, people have read too much into that. Okay, it's too much into that. Like I told you, like I said before earlier in the video, I was saying, we're all, somebody is our God. We're a slave to something, whether it's work, money, family, flesh, debauchery, you know? So what he's saying is that's what he's talking about. He's not saying that, you know, they chose to be slaves. You gotta really think about it a little bit.
Prison. I like the word prison because slavery goes too direct to the idea of blacks.
So my opinion on this clip is that I don't truthfully think Kanye was trying to disparage the souls of the black people before us. But this is a commentary on how pushing back against oppressors or people in power starts mentally. Kanye even corrected himself and said slavery was a bad example because obviously it's nuanced. And when you watch the full context, you can see that the slavery thing was a metaphor for how the mind can be dominated and how the shackles are less physical and more mental. Now, before I wrap this up, I want to prove how this tweet is also essentially restating the thesis of my video. You remember when all those red pill guys went for a night out in Miami? Even in that video, I pointed out how these guys can be racist and can disparage every community. But the moment they sing HH, they got smited. I don't think these guys are anti-Israel or anti-Zionist or anti-war or pro-progressive and pro for the people. I think they're edgy men and I think they're grifters. But their situation not only proves what Kanye is saying, but it also validates the idea that there is truly nuance to the madness that is Kanye West. For starters, these red pill men show they have no actual message beyond trying to upset Jewish people. They hide behind the facade of being progressive and for Palestine, but it's a grift. That's why Myron was mocking Jewish people with this outfit. Now compare that to Kanye, blatantly calling out the commodification of black pain via social media, via jokes, via music, via whatever. But when Kanye, much like the red pill guys, do these things to that group, all of a sudden, it's a worldwide blackballing. If those red pill guys took shots at black people the whole night, nothing would have happened. So with that being said, I can't help but notice this strange phenomenon where
No, it's not a strange phenomenon. It's just people of influence and power. What's the greatest superpower that exists in this world? It's influence. And Kanye has more influence than all 30 of those streamers put together. So obviously he's more of a target because what he says has more weight than the rest of these guys. What are you gonna do? Take out a bunch of little fish or take out the big fish? Take out the big fish, man. That's what it's really all about. Come on, guys.